time to be a hero. Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Once again, folks, we are coming to you from Clint's Comics in Monroe, Louisiana. I am very, very excited about doing this episode. There's a lot of things that I'm going to talk about, and right now I'm counting up to about 7 customers that we have right now. I mean, they kind of got out of my view, but although it's okay, I welcome y'all to get in the shot. I'm all for that. Okay, that didn't help very much, but anyway, so I gotta ask, any questions? We only have one question this week, and it's from Brian Ferguson from Wake Forest, North Carolina. He asks, who has the coolest costume besides Superman and Batman? Well, Brian, I'd probably have to say Spider-Man. And here's why. Because Spider-Man, to me, has always had the coolest costume ever. I mean, with Steve Ditko, he managed to... When he did the character design, it was just flat out flawless. And it seemed like and the only reason that his costume looks so great now is because they've always put the right artist to pencil Spider-Man, whether it be Todd McFarlane, whether it be John Romita Sr., John Romita Jr., and current artist Giuseppe Camuncoli. I mean, I've always thought he's had the coolest costume besides Batman and Superman. Well, and Wonder Woman, the new 52 Wonder Woman, who I think is like the ultimate Wonder Woman, she's had the coolest costume as well. And I mean, I could go on and on, but overall, I'd have to say Spider-Man. All right, that's it for any questions. Now remember, I don't want Brian to be the only person to ask the question every week. If you have any questions at all, there's the contact info down there. Don't be ashamed to do so.
Well, I got a Power Girl. Her first costume has the big hole in it. That was like the coolest costume.
Whoa, we gotta be careful, Clint. They're kids who also watch this show, so
I also like Harley Quinn.
Okay,
She's
yeah.
a great costume, black, red.
All right, there you go. Clint Thomas, folks. All right. But like I said, if you have any questions, there's a contact info right down there. Please ask. Because I don't want Brian to be the only person to ask a question on here every week. All right, and speaking of Brian Ferguson, He also wants Galactus and Darkseid to do battle in a segment I like to call DC versus Marvel. Hulk! Smash! Welcome to DC versus Marvel. Today, it's Darkseid versus Galactus. Darkseid possesses Omega Beam projection as either concussive force or disintegrating energy. He also possesses super strength, endurance, and immortality. Galactus possesses reality alteration, energy, matter and life force manipulation, cosmic awareness, telepathy, and telekinesis. Who will win? You would think this fight would go in favor of Galactus in terms of size, but remember, Darkseid is immortal. The latter would let Galactus read his mind and allow himself to suffer blows. Then Darkseid would close his mind off to Galactus, but for some reason lets Galactus stomp on him like a bug. Galactus then feels a numbing sensation at the bottom of his foot. The numbing quickly becomes painful, and finally fateful as he feels pain shooting from his foot all the way through his giant brain. The reason? Darkseid finished him off with his deadly Omega Beam. Darkseid wins. And that concludes this DC versus Marvel fight. Hey, there's this funny scene that I'm gonna put in the blooper reel. It's funny to me. It's in it. I'm not talking at all, but Clint is, I just want to tell y'all that because he's gonna be saying some very bad words, which is something that I will never say on this web series. I will never curse. Besides, this is a family show. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the DC versus Marvel. Up next is Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, first thing I'm going to talk about, I read Convergence Superman #2, and I'm happy to announce that Lois gave birth to a baby boy, and she and Superman named him Jonathan Samuel Kent. And mommy and baby are doing just fine, and as well as Superman. But you have to remember, that's the previous DC universe. This isn't the New 52 universe. And you know what? While I'm reading Convergence, I'm still trying to figure out, is the New 52 even going to get involved? Because just about every other DC universe other than the New 52 is involved. And the Earth 2 New 52 universe is involved, and then Future's End. All the characters that were in New 52 Future's End were in it as well. But I don't know. And speaking of Convergence, we found out that Telos might not be the villain in Convergence after all. Excuse me. There's a character called himself Deimos, who is I guess some kind of sorcerer, who had revealed to Telos that he actually had a life before Brainiac had found him, and he had a wife and kids and everything. But then Brainiac gave him this new life and says, that your family will and everyone else on your planet will live if you choose to accept. They just won't be near you. And some other things have gone on, like for example, the Earth 2 Dick Grayson finally, accepted the fact that the Dick Grayson from another DC universe and Batman had a partnership. And so at the end of #5, we find out that he dons a Nightwing costume that he kind of put together at the last minute. And then Deimos had pretty much told him that told everyone on the planet Telos, you can all stop fighting now. I will give you freedom at a price. And and you know what? I forgot to talk about this last week. Avengers: Age of Ultron. I went to see it, and let me tell you, that was an amazing movie. Words cannot describe how amazing I thought it was. The one thing that I really thought was amazing, that I didn't really catch on to until about 3 seconds into it, was that the fact that the only person that could wield Mjolnir outside of Thor was the Vision. Besides, the Vision's an android. Of course he can wield Mjolnir. I really don't. I think it takes somebody. It takes an actual human being to tell for Mjolnir to tell whether they're worthy or not. Not necessarily an android. But if you watch this, I'm so sorry. But come on, let's face facts. The movie's been out for almost 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about going to see it again. So if you're watching this and you live near the Monroe area or anywhere in Northwest Louisiana,
Which one of you wants to lose your virginity?
if you want to come along with me and see a movie, let's go. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. So then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, up first is Convergence number 6, and we talked about, Clint and I were just talking about this scene. I mean, this scene is going to go in a blooper reel. But anyway, Convergence number 6. Now, I just read number 5, and what we found out is Telos isn't really the villain. It's actually some guy named Deimos, who in the last issue actually, like I said, in Comically Speaking, had revealed to Telos that he had a life before Brainiac came along. And judging by this cover, I think the new 52 DC Universe gets involved. So finally. Okay, up next is Thor number 8. Now, I haven't read number 7, but in this one, we find out who the new Thor is. And a few minutes ago, while I was waiting to get Convergence number 6 from Clint, I finally found out who the identity of this Thor is, and that person is up next is Secret Wars number 2. Now, what's going on in this book is the number 1, we witnessed the death of both the Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Marvel Universe. Of course, the Marvel Universe was really first established back in 1961, and then the Ultimate Marvel Universe 15 years ago. And out of Secret Wars is going to rise a new Marvel Universe, and I'm really I'm a little curious as to what this new Marvel Universe is going to look like. I want to say it's going to be a combination of both the regular and the Ultimate Marvel Universe, but we'll see. Up next is Captain Marvel number 15. This is the last issue of this series, and it's going to be one of the books that Marvel is going to be ending. But don't worry, this won't be the last time we see Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. As a matter of fact, she's getting a new book that's going to be called Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps. And it's also going to feature some characters that were featured in this volume of Captain Marvel and the previous volume. All right, up next is Convergence Superboy number 2. Now, Superman from Earth 2 is going after this Superboy because you can tell he's an old man because he obviously can't tell the difference between this Superboy and the Superboy Prime, and Superboy Prime who killed him in Infinite Crisis. Oh, by the way, he's trying to kill him for killing him. Eye for an eye. All right. Up next is Convergence Supergirl Matrix number 2. Now, I haven't started reading number 1. I'm getting to it though. But what I can't tell you about this book is that it features the Supergirl before Zero Hour. Now, the Supergirl isn't really Now, this Supergirl is not Superman's cousin, Kara Zor-El. This is a character that calls herself Matrix, and she later merges body and soul. I mean, this Supergirl is also a shapeshifter, and she merges body and soul in 1996 with a college student named named Linda Danvers.
Damon Road tomorrow, weather permitting. It's
But this is before that happened. This is when Lex Luthor's cloned and taken control of LexCorp. Oops, sorry folks. Butterfingers! Alright, up next is Convergence, Green Lantern, and Parallax #2. And I haven't gotten started on reading this one either. But I can tell you, it's going to star Parallax and then the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, who is like a fan favorite. But everybody knows that the two more popular Green Lanterns are Hal Jordan and John Stewart. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I'm not saying that because I'm black, like John Stewart is. I'm saying that because that is the awful truth. But as soon as I read #1, I'll let you know what happens in it. And then finally, Uncanny Avengers #4. Now, I've yet to start reading this book, and the only reason for that is because I haven't finished the previous volume of Uncanny Avengers. Although it shouldn't really matter considering that this is actually one of few books that are going to be continuing for Marvel in terms of numbering after Secret Wars. The rest of them are going to either start over or they're going to be no more. All right, now let's see here. I have that's 8 I bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 6,804. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I tell you, I keep saying how much I love doing this web series, and I'm very grateful for Clint allowing me to do the web series here. As a matter of fact, it was his idea, and I know I keep saying that, but sometimes. But I'm one of those people that I'm not afraid to. I'm not at all afraid. I'm not at all too proud to to give credit where credit's due, and remember, if you want to submit any questions in the any questions segment, there's the contact information down there, and if you want to, and also, I'm also taking requests for DC versus Marvel. I don't want Brian Ferguson to be the only person to do that, and I'm quite sure he doesn't want to be the only person to do that. So please, get your request. There's the contact info down there, or if you just happen to see me, just tell me. Or if you have your cell phone, if you have my cell phone number, let me know. And if you think I'm going to post my cell phone number on here, you're sadly mistaken. Oh, and also t-shirts. If you want your very own Comic Hero t-shirt, there's the contact information, and also the way that they're priced. They're $10 in a blank tee, or they're $12 if you want me to buy the tee. And for children, I also make children's tees. They are $5 in a blank tee and $7 if you want me to buy the tee. So far, I have made approximately about 10 shirts for 10 people, and about 2 shirts for children. This shirt that I'm wearing right here, this represents my alma mater, which is Homer High School in Homer, Louisiana. I graduated from there 15 years ago. And my parents always taught me never be afraid of where you came from, or don't ever forget where you came from. This is my way of remembering where I came from. And I was proud class of 2000. Always have been proud, always will be proud. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. We'll see you next week right here at Clint's Comics. I'm going to go ahead and pay for these books. Till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.
of America at 26741.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Hate that one.
There is no
All right, first up is Convergence number 6. Now, I just read number 5, and we found out that Telos isn't really the villain in this series. It's actually, dang it. First is, the Peter Brady. Okay, I only have one question. It's from Brian Ferguson from Wake Forest, North Carolina, who will also be moving back to Blooper Reel. Okay, I only have one question. It's from Brian Ferguson from Wake Forest, North Carolina. He asked, okay, so who has the coolest... Stumbled that again. There's another...
I gotta get my ass together, man. I hate it, fucking things stuff up. All this stuff here was stuff that I was supposed to get. I've been fucking with that all morning. That's why I'm running behind.